Second too late. How we doing?
Good, man.
All right. What's your headline?
Great second set. I mean, great show, I thought, but I really like that second set. I
All
liked
right.
it a lot.
My headline that I wrote down was Johnny Salami wears sunglasses. And he was for the opening song, which was it's Atlanta. Don't forget we're in Atlanta. People get mad at me because I don't do the whole 9 yards. We
Oh
were in
yeah.
Atlanta tonight. Here's the set list. And we opened
Oh.
up with Cassidy Deal. I'm going to lump them together real quick. We can talk about them individually.
Mhm.
Cassidy Deal is a classic closer. Again, with the pairs this season. And as much as a pair opened, I felt like the theme of tonight was the individual as much as it was the team last time.
Okay.
What
From
did
the
you-
band, are you talking about?
No, from the set list perspective.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I
but
don't know. I don't want to
they-
jump around, but I thought the China Rider was like a really smooth, buttery pairing. And it went
Well,
really well in the second set.
not how they were playing the songs themselves. Like last time we got Uncle John's Band, which is a song about unity, and it felt like a lot of the songs tonight. I feel like a lot of the songs were the individual, Misfit Power, Estimated Profit, Cassidy, Deal.
Oh, you're
Samson.
going deep. All right, I got you.
I told you we were going deep tonight.
I didn't realize we are going deep that early. Like just jumping right in. All right,
Cassidy.
yeah, no, I buy that.
Where are you on Cassidy? My thing. Let me just say, my thing with Cassidy is why was it never in the second set with the Dead when Jerry played? It deserved it. It had the legs. It always ended up closing the first set, or was the penultimate song.
I don't like this placement tonight. Personally, I like the song, but I didn't like it to start the show. I felt like it was a weird way to start the show, honestly.
Right. That's why I was saying the pair thing. Once they did Deal, it made more sense to me in my mind, being an 80s kid.
Yeah. Deal sounded good.
Deal was fantastic. Mayer owns that. He does the he nails the solos like Jerry would in the early 80s. It has the fire behind it.
Freaking phenomenal, dude. He's great.
It's phenomenal. And then we got Samson, which is in case you forgot, it's Sunday. And Bobby, it's the first time tonight he stepped up to the pulpit and he gave us the story of the individual. Samson fighting for Delilah against the lion. It's all that internal struggle. And I didn't like it in the third spot.
The placement of all of these, I was kind of like,
that should have been the opener.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I agree with that move. Yeah.
And there we go. So we'll just leave it there. But I love Samson. I would love to hear it, but I probably won't because I'm going to see a Saturday show, and you know what that's going to mean because they didn't do that song in the Forum when they should have. We got Friend of the Devil. Now, I texted Matt because I was like, does Bobby always sing the extra verse? I don't know if you noticed. At the end, there's an extra verse that Bobby sang that I never realized he did that says, you can borrow from a devil, you can borrow from your friend. The devil give you 20 when your friend got only 10. And then they go to the outro.
Yeah,
when Hunter did it, he placed it in the middle of the song. And Hunter said about it that when he gave Garcia the lyric, it wasn't part of the lyric. So Garcia set the song before that lyric was written.
Okay.
And then Hunter added it later, and then apparently Phil sang it during Further.
Right.
And then when Dead and Company came, Bobby took it over.
You good with it? You like it?
I'm good. No, I'm not good with it.
No.
It sounded like a cast off at the end of the song. It should be in the middle of the song because there's a different musical breakdown when Hunter put it in there.
Yeah.
So
I'm okay with it. I'm
okay with it. I like the dichotomy of Samson, the God figure, and Friend of the Devil, back to back. That worked for me on a lot of levels.
Yeah, and I thought Friend of the Devil was starting to pick the set up a little bit and kind of got the set moving a little bit, which was nice.
And now where are you? John Mayer is a blues guitar player, right?
I think so, yeah.
Hurts Me Too is a showcase for him. He takes the Pigpen songs, that Mr. Charlie, has he ever done You Win Again? But whatever they are, he owns Hurts Me Too as much as it's Elmer James tune, I think, originally. Blues guy from the 50s, 60s. But you're good with Mayer being the blues guy?
Well, you know what's funny? It's like this is gonna sound ridiculous for people that are like John Mayer fans, and I, from my perspective, I get caught in saying dumb shit like this, but I'm always repeatedly impressed at how good he is. It's like, no shit, of course he's fucking good. He's like a multi.
No, I'm with you.
But like I don't know if it's just like the jokes or like the bullshit or whatever. But like I always like I don't know in my mind I'm like, oh, it's just I don't take him seriously, and then I hear him play, and I'm like, he's really fucking good. Like he plays really well. He has great tone. He has phenomenal tone. I think that's one of the underrated. And like, all right, so I know like Bobby and like he's been doing this for years, but when you compare tone, it's like it seems like a whole different like I don't know. I just love the tone that he gets. Johnny Salami.
You know what my thing is? John Mayer to me was Daughters. That was my whole notion of John Mayer, and he was a pop guy, and it was a cute song, and I had I love my daughters. I have 2 daughters, so I was like, that's a great song. He's a cool guy, whatever. And so it took me a lot to take him seriously.
Yeah, but you should. I mean, I think so. I think
he's a scholar phenomenal. As much as like I said repeatedly, he's a scholar of Garcia. He's obviously a scholar of all these old blues guys, because it isn't Garcia that I hear him channeling. I hear him channeling a little bit, but
a little bit more now than when they started Dead and Co. I think there's a little bit more, but I know what you're saying. It's not full Jerry. There's a lot more blues influence in there.
Oh no, we do not like Clapton. We're not going to go into Clapton.
I like Clapton. Don't lump us in here. What, you got a frog in your pocket?
I do not like Clapton.
I mean, whatever. I mean, personal.
If you want to know about
like
Clapton,
his music.
Right, go back to last Wednesday, Live, and we talked about Clapton at the end for quite a bit.
That was a good episode.
So Tennessee Jed was the obvious call tonight, seeing they were in Atlanta and Georgia.
Yeah.
Because when I saw them in Tennessee at Bonnaroo, they did Alabama Getaway.
You just clipped up really loud, by the way.
Oh, did I? Sorry.
Yeah, all right.
Are we good?
No, it's so loud. Just stay back a little bit. Blowing out people's speakers.
Is it good now?
Yeah, it sounds good. Kev attacks.
Oh my god.
All right. So the last 2 here, if I had the world to give, O'Teal, man. Sorry, did you want to talk about Jed more? Like it was a Jed.
No,
fine.
Unless you want to know how Tennessee Jed was written.
Okay, yeah. But you gotta fix your mic. You gotta stay back a little bit.
What the fuck happened? Is that better?
Yeah, that's fine. Just don't get too close up on it.
Okay. Tennessee Jed. Apparently Hunter was walking down some alley in Spain and somebody was playing a mouth harp, and he wrote the lyrics in his head to the mouth harp.
I have to look at what a mouth harp looks like, because like I'm not playing.
I don't want to call it. I don't want to call it the name everybody calls it, because you probably shouldn't call it that anymore. It's a thing you put in your mouth and you're like bong 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 bong.
Oh yeah. All right, let's keep moving.
All right. So if I had the world to give, it's a Jerry tune. The Dead didn't do it much. I really like what O'Teal does with it. He owns it.
Yeah, sounds great. Love hearing him sing. Wish he did more of it. His vocals are a lot like his bass playing. It's very buttery, smooth, and makes you feel good. And then it was cool because going down the road, I mean, it's passed around, so it's not just O'Teal, but I was like, that's back-to-back O'Teal vocals. I'm like, I was digging it.
Right. And going down the road had Jeff. He got the cornbread and peas verse, which is something I heard from Tony Rice or Merle Watson the first time years ago. My issue with the first set, before we get into the housekeeping, is there was no jam. At the Forum, each night there was a jam in the first set. And then in Dallas, I guess there was the Sailor Saints, so there was a little jam. But like you had the Dark Star Cumberland. Mm-hmm. Why there was none of that? It was a very first set. Whereas I feel like the rest of the tour, there wasn't a distinction between them beyond the fact that the second set was going to have drum space.
Back off the mic a tiny bit more.
Right.
Right there. Yeah, that's perfect.
All right. The second set was going to have drums and space.
Yeah. It was very just like classic rock and roll Dead, not Spacey Jam Dead in the first set, which is fine. Like, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't bother me. I don't necessarily. All right, this is gonna sound fucked up on a Dead and Co after show, but like, I'm not listening to Dead and Co to get outstanding jams. To me, they're not like these masterful. They're gonna go and blow my mind with the best jam I've ever heard. It's really just music that I love and that we all love, and songs that you want to hear again and played really well and done something different with it, right? So if they're not getting really far out there or taking things for walks or stretching things out, I'm not as upset as if I see a band that I go to for that jam.
All right, what do you got on that? What do you got on Up for Life? I've been drinking all night.
I don't think they're too old to jam, and I think they can. I will the second set. I think,
but the canned part, I would say that Fish is more canned than Dead and Company is. They have set little sections they do in jams. It's the same thing every third show.
You are objectively wrong, because like just the nature of how the Grateful Dead in general and Dead and Co jam is type 1. If you're in China, right? You know what I mean? Like they're great jams, but like they're very type 1, very
Type 2 is an Illuminati thing.
No, it's not. It's not better. It's not better or worse. Just to be clear, I love the type 1 jamming, but it's a whole different type of experience, right? It's a type of.
It's more blues based than prog based.
Yeah, well, and then the fact that it stays in on the tracks,
right? It's done by measures, whereas a prog song is like, fuck it, we'll play 27 minutes and call it a Yes album.
That's the way to describe the type 2 is like prog sounds like a crazy composition, which it is, right? That's like composed and pre-written, and what type 2 jamming is trying to recreate that spontaneous, crazy composition, but improvised, whereas with type 1, it's you're on a 12 bar or you're on a standard chord progression and you're just playing different melodies and notes within that structure. Anyway, this isn't supposed to be a lesson. Let's go into set. You want to do housekeeping? Oh, now you're muted. There you go.
Any better now?
Yeah, that's better.
I feel horrible that it's not working. Yes, I would say that you should subscribe. If you're watching this later, leave a comment. We love interacting with people. If you're here now, make sure that you look at that little $sign. If you're here later, look at that little $sign because it isn't cheap.
Hey, I can tell you what, if anyone wants to donate, we'll put it towards a new mic for Kev. That'll be the next purchase Wook Plus makes.
So send in those donations now.
All right. Well, I want to do a couple quick things too. Happy birthday, Zook. I missed it the other day. And also, I know that the Grateful Dead fucking can jam type 2. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm just saying that they much more frequently stay type 1 than modern jam bands do, and that's fine. It's good.
I'm cutting clips. That's all there is to it.
Type 1 and type 2.
I have no recourse.
Do you know the difference? And I'm not saying it judgmentally, but like, do you know the difference? Can you, like, when you listen to a jam, know when it's type 1 or type 2, or is it more so just it's a thing, but it's not something that you hear yourself?
I feel like that type 1 is when there's just a long solo. And the rest of the band just vamps behind.
Okay.
Whereas type 2 would be everybody's. It's like trying to collaborate in real time.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. You want to go to the second set? That's pretty good.
Yes. Oh, look at that! Our favorite person.
Oh, thanks.
What will we do with? What will we do without Daisy? Thank you.
She just really wants you to get a new mic.
She wants me to get a new mic, yes. And I'm going to be hanging out with Daisy and Nissan. So find us. I will have the John Mayer shirt on. we're going to do that. All right, set 2. Althea, again, we go with a song that's a standalone to open the set. I think it's the second time Althea in 5 shows has opened a set. We had Sugaree one night. I was more comfortable with it tonight.
Yeah, 100%. Loved it. I think it worked well, and they sounded great. Johnny Salami again sounded great, and I think it's kicked off a really great set.
Yeah,
No complaints.
No complaints. I really wish it was in the first set though. If it's going to pop up in Nissan, first set. All right, so then estimated. We got another estimated third one in 5 shows.
Yeah,
so
man.
This is going to be one that they're going to be busting out, and I see no reason that they shouldn't bust out the heavy hitters every other night, every third night, whatever it is, because this is the last time.
What's cool now with estimated is I can't hear and not picture Oteil doing his little, it's like is what the Oteil move. It was I love how like it's plotting. It's like right on that line of almost being like dragged, but it's not, right? Like it just kind of sits there, and I felt it had a good feel tonight.
It's in a weird time signature, like 7/4.
Yeah, 7/4. Yeah.
So can you play that? How are you playing that? Have you tried?
Oh yeah, that's one of the. Actually, this set is pretty much what my band will play. Like these are like China Rider and Estimated are the ones we play, and Terrapin occasionally. So yeah, they played Terrapin today. I was getting mixed up with the other night.
You guys shouldn't play Terrapin.
No, I know.
I'm just gonna say that.
That's fine. No,
all right.
well,
So
if
then
you heard it, you'd say that too.
so instead of getting the estimated eyes, there we go with the pairs again. And estimated again goes to my individual theme. It's the deranged preacher thing. It's the deranged preacher thing. He's on the beach. He's, if you read that in a police report, you'd be like, arrest that guy. It goes with Psycho Killer, though. It's like a song in that space.
Talking about estimated?
Yeah, estimated.
Yeah.
And I love it. And usually it's paired with eyes, which is the exact opposite. It's the totally optimistic. You're the eyes of the world, But they stuck the China Rider in the middle, and I think it was a really bold move on their part, and
on
I think
Matt's part.
Matt's part, and I really think it worked. I think that
Yeah, I think that China had a great intro jam, and I really like that build into Rider, and I thought they nailed it. And I liked it breaking up with the eyes. Honestly, I think it was they've done that before though. That's not a completely out of left field move, right? I feel like I've seen that.
Well, it's split. Oh yeah, estimated eyes wasn't always together. It just for whatever reason in my mind is paired up. And a lot of times they've done it. I guess, maybe 60% of eyes had an estimated attached to them from 85 on or something like that. Interesting side note before we get into the eyes. We were thinking, we know Matt writes the set list, and I really think that it's brilliant the way they do that. I wish somebody would write Fish's set list for them, and they were given what they were, the skeleton, and they filled it in, as opposed to Trey going on a whim a lot of the time. Whole another side conversation.
Well, reminder that we're going to also be doing Fish after shows 15 minutes after Encore, and maybe we can get into the inner workings of their set list on that show.
Right, exactly. But all right, so I totally lost where I was going. Good for me.
Well, let's talk about that eyes, because I mean, unless you had something else for China Rider.
What I was going to say is, I asked Matt who wrote the set list for the Dead. He wasn't around then, and he said up through Vince, they just called him out on stage. And I think that you can see that by the set list. They had 85 songs they do over a tour. It was a very small pool of songs, and then once Vince joined, apparently they started writing out the set list. And you started getting Here Comes Sun. No, I think it was just to expand it. Make sure we do Here Comes Sunshine. Let's bring that back, and New Speedway Boogie, and and to make sure that they don't get lost in the shuffle. I think it's good to have somebody with a spreadsheet.
I mean, I feel like, and not that I'm criticizing at all, but like I feel like with Trey being sober right now, it's a little bit different because I think he actually does have it mapped out in his mind, whether or not he says or writes it. But I think like when the time period you're talking about before Vince joined, it was literally just out there. Like, we're going on this trip and we have no idea. And that I think is a little more
I would
dangerous
think
and shit could get lost.
I would think they walked into it the first night of tour. They were like, all right, Jerry, you're tonight opener. And then the rest of the tour went Bobby opener the next night, Jerry opener, Bobby opener. So they knew that. That was
that why they pluck so much? And because that like plucking around and waiting, it's like literally them trying to figure out, thinking, do we want to do this?
Exactly.
Do that?
What do I want to do?
Yeah.
And then once Jerry opened with a song, Bobby was like, all right, well, when they do Bertha, I usually do Greatest Story afterwards. So boom, we're Greatest Story. And if Bobby opened with Jack Straw, Jerry's like, well, I usually do a Shuffle Blues. It's a West LA tonight,
Right. And that's why there's so many patterns. And that's why Matt has fun fucking with the patterns.
Right, exactly. So then Eyes was beautiful. It has the extra little section. I feel like they own Eyes more than any other song in the catalog. Eyes is a Dead and Company song now, as much as people are going to shoot me, as much as it ever was a Grateful Dead song. Just, I think the whole band loves it so much, and there's no hesitation with it. Every time they play it, they are full on, no ego. Our hearts are out here.
Yeah. And part of that is O'Teal,
Oh my God. The I wish I could do that shit. I remember
absolutely nails it.
Right, Aquarium Rescue Unit, he used to do that in some song, and and then Allman Brothers, he did it. There was some Allman Brothers that he would do it during. So that's a good thing. That's just shtick. We love it. So we ended the song and then went into drums. There was no kind of transition.
I don't think Alice likes your take, Kev.
Barf. Thank you, Alice. And Mickey was like a fiend. He went right to the beam as soon as they started.
He was like, I thought he was spacing before. It's like I don't know. It's a very spacey, beamy way to start drums. It got there though. It's cool.
But tonight, Jay didn't leave the kit like he has the other nights. So while the beam was going, he was on the kit, and then they both abandoned at the same time, and I went back with O'Teal. Yeah. And then we had the traditional, all three of them beating on the timpalis. Is that what those big round things are called?
Yeah, well, they played all sorts of Latin Cuban, Afro-Cuban drums, but yeah, the ones that have the ping with the rim shots are like they look steel, like, or chrome. Yeah, those are timbales. And then it's remarkable how tight and rhythmic they can play together. And I sound like such an asshole. It's the same thing as the John Mayer thing all over again. Like, they're professional fucking musicians touring the country. Of course they can, but like, I don't know. Like, you don't hear
they make it effortless. You don't even notice.
And you don't hear that precision in the Grateful Dead's music drumming wise normally on purpose, right? Like, there is a lot more feel and looseness to like the way Billy played, or Billy and Mickey, or now with Jay during the music. So then when it gets sucked in and gets super tight, all of a sudden you're like, and it's a very tight rhythmic percussion. You're like, wow, they can do it. It almost got like a drum, like a drumline part, where it's very tight.
I wish we should go back and try to find a shot of Mickey's drum kit last year compared to this year. Because when you look in front of him, he has those weird dildo looking things that he's playing the drums
he loves
with.
them.
And it's all congas in front of him. He
has
a couple drums over here, maybe the snare or whatever you call those over there. But he's basically the percussion guy now, as opposed to the second drummer.
Right. Yeah, but I feel like that's been a hybrid like that for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just remember with the Dead, it was both of them on the kits. They were in sync. It was like left and right ear. They were just going.
Yeah, but I think the more modern version of it in Dead and Co, he's been more percussion. Well, like a hybrid.
Right.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So then we got the beam. We got space. Space was short. They have not yet really explored a space for 15-20 minutes. I guess there's so many songs to do.
Shit, man. I don't know if you're gonna get it. It just feels like this whole tour, and I'm not even saying it as a negative thing, but it just feels very corporate or structured. It's just
Focus.
like it's focused, right? It is. It's like they had a job. They're coming out.
We got 29 shows. We got 29 shows to say everything we're ever going to say.
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get a really far out space this year. Maybe one night, but
maybe a Nissan into Days Between, and they can just close the set with it for like 35 minutes. Space into Days Between. You listening, Matt?
I would know. I just winked for you, and then remembered I was wearing sunglasses, and then my internal dialogue was like, "You fucking idiot! Why did you wink? Nobody could see you."
And then we got the Terrapin. Now I'm going to make a humble request that you just let Mayer sing the song. People are going to be like, oh my God, he said this. I think Mayer's the only one who can sing the song correctly. Bobby just ruins the inspiration part. He doesn't sing it like Garcia, and that's fine. He's trying to do it his own way, but that song deserves to be done the way the record.
They're never going to do that.
Well, I would love John Mayer to sing both parts if anybody's listening.
That is written in. They're never gonna not let Bobby sing that. But I agree with you. I'm not gonna say anything else though. I'm not joining you in this. I'm not joining you in this take. But
and my other issue with Terrapin this tour is there has not been a long dark one yet. The outro to it has always been cut a little short, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Again, I think it's a time thing, though. We only have X amount of time to do everything we want, and we're going to do a do and not bother to do an encore. Do you need anything else after that? I mean,
yeah, they didn't break before do, right?
No, they didn't. No, yeah,
that was just it.
Yeah, and then they went into do, and then there was like 4 minutes left, so they couldn't really do another song, and the screen went black because I don't think the Nugs people were quite sure what was going on.
Yeah. Those webcasts are fucking expensive, by the way. They're like the price of lawn seats. I just want to bitch for a minute. But anyway. Yeah,
what about lawn seats? I think that the scalpers have just, they nabbed up all the tickets.
$35.
$35 for a lawn seat is right in my.
No, I'm talking about the stream. You got to pay $35.
Oh, for the stream?
The stream is $35 a night. It's fucking out of control.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
But most people are only going to watch one show. How many people are going to watch all 29 shows?
Us, but
me, you.
Well, I don't know, man. If T ever showed up for work, then maybe I would.
He's out there commenting over in the chat, and he isn't here. What the hell's going on? Did you get the car, T? Did your wife get the car? Thank you. Yes, and they're not bad takes. They're just alternate.
They are. Well, you know what? Help us pay for these streams.
Well, there you go. Sell one of your prints. You got all 29.
Never. I thought about that. I have a handful that are actually pretty valuable. I just couldn't. I don't know. I'm not good at releasing that stuff. All right. Well, what else you guys? Is that it?
We got the answer. Well, we'll be here. The next show is what? What's tonight? Sunday? I guess the next show is Tuesday.
Yeah.
In North Carolina, I believe. Yeah. I can't believe I didn't write this down beforehand. And
you'll be here.
Yeah, I'll be gone next Saturday because I'll be at Nissan. Hopefully it'll be you and T. We'll see who shows up.
I'll be here. I love talking about Dead and Co. and hanging out with you guys.
It's a good thing. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Wednesday, make sure you show up. Do we know what's going on Wednesday, or is it just gonna be a hang again?
Just a hang, I think.
All right.
Benji's coming in a couple weeks, and
make sure it isn't one of the nights Dead and Company's playing.
Yeah, no, I know.
The 7th and 21st are off the calendar.
Maybe Benji and I will do a live without you. You and T can go watch Dead and Co.
Ain't nobody gonna watch that shit without me.
Yeah, no, I do actually have a couple of people that are going to be coming on in the next month, so stay tuned.
Like, subscribe, comment. We love you. Thanks, Daisy.